Hi, everybody. We're live. I am Dr. Katie Williams.
I'm Melody Anderson.
And we just finished up recording the gateway session for this week's podcast. So make sure to check that out. It'll be up on YouTube, and it is the final
of the
series for each of the main chakras. So today we did the root chakra, and it was really intense.
It was very intense and powerful. I normally in one of these sessions, I'll get subtle energies. This one was really intense. I was feeling prickles all over my body, especially the right side.
And I felt a whole bunch of nausea. It was weird. I felt it in my head, and then I felt it a lot in my stomach as we were doing the clearing and the activation. It was just really intense.
Yeah.
Physically.
Intense. Yeah. And I think it's going to be more intense for you and me because we're supposed to be taking that on for others.
Right.
So hopefully you won't have that kind of an experience. If you do, let us know.
Yeah. But we were channeling it for everybody that wanted to accept it. So, yeah, anyway, really, really awesome. So we're still doing the drawing for the podcast. So make sure if you want to receive a surrogate gateway that you go over to the YouTube channel and comment on the video, get yourself into the drawing. You just have to comment gateway me, but you can comment anything because we want to hear from you. So tell us things.
Tell us.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the gateway experience. And yeah, should we just like chat?
Yeah. I mean, you earlier mentioned that you overheard. I'm really interested in this.
Okay. So I was at, I don't want to be too specific.
No, you don't have to be specific. You could just say.
I was at a thing yesterday for the boys, and this woman started talking to me about her political views. And I don't even, it started off, we were talking about money.
Oh.
She was buying new carpet, and she was telling me how she's like, the last time I bought carpet, it was, this much for a square.
Right.
It was a square yard back then. And now for the same price, you get like a square foot or whatever, it was. I don't know measurements. But, I said, I know the inflation is hitting us. Like we started feeling it. It's just, it's crazy out there. And then, so that kind of got her going with the government and inflation and all of that. And she's kind of started regurgitating how she feels about things. And you could tell she was like escalating in how she felt. And I'm just kind of listening, and I wasn't offering a whole lot back. And then she came right out and she said, I mean, I'm for execution. And I went, I probably read all over my face that I was shocked that she would say that to me.
Right. Yeah.
And
not really knowing you.
Right. Well, just like we've only just where, it was a thing for the kids. And so it's
true.
An acquaintance.
Right.
But not like somebody I talked to a bunch.
Right.
And so then I thought, well, she's really open about that. And that's bold.
Right. But really affected by what's going on in today's world too.
So affected.
And most of us are.
Yes.
But I think that's, being a hairdresser, you hear lots of opinions. Lots and lots of opinions. I prefer they share their opinions with me when no one else is around because I am open and willing to listen. I have no issues with people's opinions. I'm very neutral, and I'm so grateful for having been Jehovah's Witness. I'm not Jehovah's Witness now, but not growing up that way, but learning that in my adult life, there's politically neutral. They say I voted for God's kingdom. I'm right there. That's where I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, this political system is only serving one side or the other, not everyone.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm kind of with you. I kind of pull myself out of politics anymore.
Yeah.
You know how
it doesn't feel very spiritual.
No, it doesn't. And you know how Elizabeth April, that's her name, right? Elizabeth April.
Yeah.
She says, I don't really engage in politics at all. She's like, I'm not a part of that system. And that's how I feel.
Me too.
I'm not really part of the system. I don't focus on it. I don't really know what's going on.
Right.
I hear like tidbits here and there.
It just makes you angry if you think about it.
And that's where this person was. And I thought, wow, she is so upset that she's literally on board with killing somebody in order to turn things more in her favor.
Right.
And I thought, wow, that it really puts you in the perspective of somebody being at the end of their rope.
Right. And we understand.
I get it, but that's a lot. That is saying, it would take me a lot to get to that point where I feel like I want to kill someone.
Right. I don't know. I've been pretty angry and wanted to harm someone, but that's not a very spiritual viewpoint. There was someone was like, I can't remember what teaching it was, but someone was saying, when someone projects negative energy at you or hatred or whatever, mirror it back and amplify it. I think we talked about that a minute ago.
Yes.
And to me, that has never made sense. It seems like if we're energy healers, wouldn't we want to neutralize it and then send love back to that person? Because where is that hurt and anger coming from? And if you're just blasting it back, you're fire against fire. But if you send love and neutralize that negative energy, it just seems like it's going to do more good than harm.
From a psychology standpoint, that makes me think of being in a relationship with somebody that has a personality disorder, like a narcissist, for example. Like, you have to tread lightly with people like that. You can't be defensive. They're defensive.
Right.
Like, you can't be the way they are.
Right.
Or you are just going to constantly do this.
That's right.
The whole way. You have to, like, be that neutral.
Right.
It's like you have to know how to
navigate that.
Well, I was going to say manipulate, but that's a better word.
Well, I think a lot of people think manipulate is bad, but sometimes you have to manipulate.
Well, if you're manipulating for the good.
Right.
For the sake
like a chiropractor manipulates us back into place.
True. That's true.
Interrupting you.
No, that's perfect. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to fire it back at them. They're already fired up.
Right. And it's funny how growing up in households where you've got a very fiery, angry adult, the children learn how to navigate that system or manipulate that situation so that they aren't the target of the anger.
Right.
You learn to agree. Oh, yeah, I understand why you're pissed off. That makes so much sense. And you just work with and just follow their energy through rather than...
Well, now I'm wondering how my kids are navigating me.
Oh, we all learn our parents and learn how to navigate things, but typically children of
adapted.
Yeah, you have to adapt to a terrible childhood to figure out how to keep yourself safe.
Right. This also made me think of that guy that was on the post for Mary's cat.
Yeah.
Like, I knew when I was commenting to that guy that nothing good was going to come out of that, and he wasn't going to like, oh, you're right. Like,
no, but you planted seeds because your response was kind. It was direct, but direct and kind.
Yeah. But I knew that I was going to get nowhere.
Right.
That was really bad English. I wasn't going to get anywhere.
You ain't going to get nowhere.
I ain't getting nowhere with that guy.
That's okay.
So anyway, but that conversation was so interesting because it shocked me. It kind of takes a lot to shock me. And I was just like, whoa, she just said that to me.
Yeah. I hear a lot of it in the salon. And usually customers get fired up because someone's talking politically. And I just think that's not the place to talk about politics or religion. However, if I'm alone in the salon, talk all you want about it. I'm a good ear. And I like knowing what people are thinking. And
I'm curious too. From. You can tell me anything.
Yeah. Bingo.
Absolutely anything. And I'm not usually in a state of judgment.
No.
That one just shocked me because I just thought, wow, for people to feel so openly to say, I want that person dead.
Right.
Whoa.
Well, you think about some of the heinous crimes that are happening around the world. And I think that there was a period of time where when things were handled more harshly, there was less of those things happening. But that obviously didn't fix anything. Because here we are.
Well, yeah.
So let's just project a bunch of love to it.
I know. So then I opened up my email today and I get a daily email from Abraham Hicks. And this is what it said. And I thought, oh, this is very fitting. Quote, see this world as a free world and see everyone in it as trying through their individual experiences to find their way back to that calling, back to that source energy. And even though there are billions of them going about it in a way that is different than you would choose, there's no right or wrong way. In other words, bless them all. And get on with the only thing you have power about, which is opening or closing your vortex to your natural state of well-being. End quote.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's everything we just said.
It was very fitting. It was very fitting. When she told me, I didn't really give her one way or the other. how I felt,
right,
or believed or whatever.
Could have escalated things.
Well, absolutely. I'm not interested in that.
No.
And so I just told her, you know what? There's a lot of ignorance in the world. There's a lot of spiritual ignorance. Most people don't know that when you hurt someone else and you're all one, you're just hurting yourself.
That's right.
And I think that's really hard for people that want justice.
Right.
They want to be validated and
right.
like, I'm right. You know, and it's hard for people to understand that even though they're making mistakes and messing up the entire world,
right,
at least our country,
the entire world,
they're also a spiritual,
we all come from
the same, and they're on their path, and even though they might be choosing to do it in a way that you wouldn't choose to do it, or that you disagree with, we still have to respect their path. Right.
What are those scriptures that we talked about?
Yes.
I always like to bring in a little bit of Bible knowledge to it. Romans 12.
Can you read me?
Yep. No, I can. Your writing's way better than mine. Romans 12:20 and
Proverbs
25:21.
Yep.
Those scriptures talk about when your enemy is hungry, give him something to eat. And if he's thirsty, give him something to drink, because by doing this, you're heaping fiery hot coals on their heads. And it like what you had said was, oh, that sounds like it's really mean and cruel. But
like you're trying to burn them.
yeah. Well, I remember when I was in choir, the one of the bullies that used to be so incredibly mean to me and knock me down in school and trip me and shove me and call me names. She and I were standing near each other, and she had this cute skirt on. And I said to her, I like your skirt. Do you know what? She was nice to me from then on out. It's just returning evil for evil just doesn't work. So if you return kindness for evil, sometimes it softens them. It's like heaping fiery hot coals over their heads. Like if you take lead and just keep fire over, you know what I mean? That's how you draw out the precious metals. That's how you draw out the goodness in something.
Oh, interesting to think of it that way.
Yep. The alchemy process.
Yep.
It starts out. Heat literally draws out.
And purifies.
It purifies. So you're purifying them by setting, like in pranic healing, when we have a stuck energy, something that we're having a hard time breaking down, we'll send pink loving energy to it. And then it breaks down. It's just like a degreaser. It breaks it right down. So if you return kindness for something that is very negative, you're generally going to get a good result. Do you mind if I share a little? This is a interesting, cute little story, but I was at a local pizza place where they make your pizzas for you, and there were like 4 or 5 other people ahead of me, and there's only 2 gals working, and they're just working like crazy. And the people that are waiting, they're silent and they're looking at their watches. They're just annoyed. And I'm thinking, those 2 girls couldn't work any faster, and we're acting irritated. So I thought, I'm going to do the purely scientific. I should have had a clipboard out. I just projected love from my heart center everywhere in the room. And then, I mean, it was within seconds. I started noticing people nudging each other, talking, and then the talking started turning into laughter. And then I get up to to give my order, and I just said to the gal, you guys are kicking ass and taking names. You guys are just, I'd hire either one of you anytime if I had a business, because they were just so amazing. And then everybody in there started agreeing and talking about how wonderful. I mean, it went from this palpable energy of irritation to joy.
That is wonderful.
Just simple.
You know what that makes me think of? Another Abraham thing. Abraham talks about one person that is tapped into the flowing river, like tapped in, aligned, is more powerful than thousands that are not.
I love hearing that.
You intentionally said, I'm going to be who I really am. And you projected it outward. And those people who were asleep, essentially, and not in line with who they really are, their higher perspective, were susceptible to what you were projecting.
Right. Because that's who they truly are too.
You raised their vibration without them even knowing. And they talk about that, Abraham does, about in relationships with people that you want to change.
Right.
that's how you change somebody else.
Right.
Not by going to them and being like, I hate how you're doing this, this, and this, and you need to change it.
Right.
You change it by what you project out to them.
Right.
And you can change them unknowing. They don't even know it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you can improve your relationships.
Isn't that amazing?
Just you.
Yeah. So simple. And they gave me a customer appreciation card with all sorts of discount coupons on it.
Well, and what you did for them. I wanted to say that too. Like, how lovely, because, you know, they were feeling it.
Yeah.
You feel other people's
Mm-hmm.
disapproval. And,
Yeah.
and you're like, they're watching them look at their watch and like, oh, God, I'm going as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then you stepped in and appreciated
Right.
what they were doing.
Right.
Which,
well, I work in a service industry.
Yeah.
It feels so good to be appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. When someone comes in with something negative to say every time, you eventually don't want to do their hair anymore, you know? And unfortunately at the pizza place, they don't get to tell their, see, I'm using good English too. They don't have the ability to tell customers, I don't want to make your pizza anymore.
Right. Right.
Yeah. My boss lets us fire our clients if they're mean.
Really?
Yeah. She's the best boss ever.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. She lets us fire them. And I've had to.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, see, I just went to a negative place. I should just be projecting love to those.
I was just going to say, let's send that lady some love right now that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yesterday.
We'll do that. We're sending her love.
Yeah.
Yep. And she has every right to feel how she's feeling. We can feel our feelings. But
I hope that she can feel better.
Yeah.
Because that's not a place that you want to be.
No, it isn't.
You're noticing all these things you have no control over.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me, I used to work with veterans when I worked in community mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Much of my caseload was veterans, and I love that population.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Such a special place in my heart for them.
It really is a very special.
And many of them, a lot of them were Vietnam veterans, and they had a hard time with the news.
Oh, I bet.
Watching the news, reading the newspaper, it gave them such a sense of anxiety and depression because this is their country in a way that they fought for it.
Right.
You know, they are very invested in their country, and they have zero control over what's happening.
Absolutely.
They're not boots on the ground right now making a change. They're retired at home watching it all happen and can't do anything about it. And so we had to talk about, you got to stop watching the news, and you got to stop reading the newspaper because it's not serving you.
Right.
It's not producing anything positive for you.
Yeah.
We got to let those things go.
Yeah. I made a choice to not watch the news since 9/11. And I didn't really watch it much before that, but to me there was so much propaganda, and it felt a lot of it was, you know what I mean? They just,
well, it's their agenda.
Yeah.
And you know, they have a position and they're going to be open about what that is.
Yep.
And I understand that. I used to watch the news too. Actually, when John and I got together, he used to watch the news every day. And I was like, I don't know, I don't really feel good when I watch the news.
Yep.
And slowly we stopped that habit for him too.
Right.
Now, on occasion, he will turn on the news and all of a sudden he's like, man, all of this is negative.
Yep.
When you've separated from it for a while and you're not desensitized to it anymore, and then you enter back in, it really hits you hard.
It does.
You feel it.
But you also have to wonder how much of it is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when watching Good Morning Vietnam, and he wasn't even allowed to talk about the majority of what was going on. They were giving him fluffy things to talk about. And now it's completely the opposite. Like they want our nervous systems to be so riled up.
Right.
Why even watch it?
Right.
Why even watch it?
I agree.
And people always say, well, you're so happy. Well, for one, I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
Do I meditate?
Yeah.
And I just love people. That's all
and you're projecting that outward in an intentional way to people. Like that makes you happier when you see it working.
Yeah. Especially when you see it working. Yeah. That doesn't mean I don't get mad or upset at times.
Yes, indeed.
I'm just kidding.
We're human.
We are human. We are human.
Have our moments.
That's right. Well, thank you for letting me share some perspectives.
Yeah, me too. Like that was just something that was on my mind. I just wanted to bring it up today because it was there. Good conversation.
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely a great conversation piece. helps us to realize that we have a responsibility in it, to be a focus of light and love, and we can hear people and validate them without agreeing with them.
Right. Well, and those of us that have this knowledge, that are awake to it,
Yep.
we can make an impact, a great impact.
Yes, we can.
On the world. And I want to see that. So,
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I guess that's it for today.
Peace out. See you next
I
Tuesday.
wanted to say brown trout.
You can say that.
Boys. I'm raising boys.
I know. We can't help it. I'm always around boys too.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Mwah.